let's get to our 3/4 of the way through the season award picks. And I think it just seems logical to start off with the MVP award. So my question to you is, who is your pick for MVP? And I think I already know the answer, but I want to hear you say it.
I'm starting to get to a point where it's like, if the MVP means what it means, most valuable player, I don't really see how it can't be Jokic right now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's to a point where I'm starting to think this is like one of the 10 greatest regular season peaks we've ever seen. Like, I was expecting him to taper off at a certain point.
Right.
But it's just not happening. Like, let me throw some numbers at you. He's scoring right now 29 points per 75 on plus 10 efficiency. That's scoring production, only rivaled by like peak Steph Curry, peak Kevin Durant, peak LeBron in the regular season. Oh, so you can argue he's been the best scorer in the NBA this season. I'm not saying he has been, but there's an argument from a production standpoint that like his level of scoring rate, volume, efficiency, and versatility makes him the most complete scorer in the game. But that's not even his best ability. That's the thing. He can't be double teamed, so you have to let him score at that rate, because if you do double team or try to zone him, he will pick apart your defense like Tom Brady. If you remember the Bucks game, they tried to zone him. He had 15 assists in 3/4 and they won by 40.
Yeah.
No matter what coverage you throw at him, he's going to pick it apart like the best quarterback of all time. And it's ridiculous. And there's so many structural advantages attached to Jokic that I feel like get overlooked. Like the fact that he's a dominant inside scorer, like a legitimately dominant inside scorer in the restricted area in the post. He'll just back people down into oblivion and then just like do a little jump hook. And because of how dominant he is inside, opponents have to put their biggest guy on him.
Yeah.
And how does he combat that? He stands 30 feet out and does dribble handoffs, taking away all of the rim protection. His spacing values, it almost reminds me of like a modern era Dirk, how he bends the defense.
Right.
But Dirk didn't have the passing. Like when you're taking away the rim protection and then you have arguably the greatest passing vision ever, like the amount of downhill cutting opportunities that creates is not even fair. Like if you look at the Nuggets roster, there's Aaron Gordon, Will Barton, all these guys, but no one really stands out. There's not a Jamal Murray. There's not a Michael Porter Jr.
No, they're all just they're just kind of role players. I mean,
right.
That's what they are.
The Nuggets are over a 118 offensive rating with Jokic on the floor.
That's insane. That's
higher than any other MVP candidate by like multiple points. Jokic's offensive impact right now, I think you could argue, this is going to be an extremely hot take.
Oh boy, here we go.
I think you could argue Jokic right now is a top 3 or 4 offensive player ever.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. We've never seen anything like this. People don't get that. We've never seen anything like this.
People look at like the best offensive big man ever, and they want to look at giant scoring numbers. They want to look at post talent. They want to look at 𝐒𝐻𝐾 Olajuwon, Wilt Chamberlain. We've never seen a guy put together a package like this. It almost reminds me, it's like a unique blend of like the strengths of Dirk Nowitzki and Larry Bird, who are 2 of the top 15 offensive players ever already. And that's not even accounting for the fact that he's like a top 5 offensive rebounder in the league. And for me, Jokic being by far the best offensive player on the planet right now and being a clear positive on the defensive end of the regular season, MVP's regular season award, I think the most valuable player this regular season has been Jokic. And while I will throw Giannis and Embiid and Steph somewhere right below him, I do not see too much contention at this point in time. And to add to that, if the Nuggets end up with a better record, is there even a discussion?
You know, one thing when it comes to like how valuable a player is to their team, you want to see how each of these players' teams do when these guys aren't playing. The Nuggets, without Jokic, are like near historically bad. And
yeah, I can just toss the number at you. The Nuggets with Jokic on the floor are a +10. With him off the floor, they're a -10.
Holy cow.
That's a 20-point swing.
That's ridiculous. That's
ridiculous. A 20-point swing.
Like, you talk about value. It is most valuable player. And I understand, you know, record and all this, you know, maybe that's not a good criteria. Maybe we can, you know, actually look at the award for what it is and its value. Most valuable player. And there is not a single player in the entire NBA that has been more valuable to their team than Nikola Jokic. The numbers show
Agreed.
that. What you see on the court show that. It is a universal fact that without Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets are one of the worst teams in the NBA. And with Jokic, they are near one of the best teams in the NBA. So I don't understand how anyone can sit there with a straight face and say that Nikola Jokic is not number one in the MVP conversation. It's just a fact. Nikola Jokic is the most valuable player in the league. There's no other way around it.